own one. Sorry. I gotta get through this. 6 years ago, no one believed that I could become a state representative.
This is not America! Okay, I'm so upset. I cannot believe this is happening to our country. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, Governor Abbott. All y'all. Shame. Shame. Shame on you guys. This is ridiculous. You're going to do whatever you can to suppress our votes. You already gerrymandered everything.
And I'm not making this up. This
literally have never lost a child nor had one injured to actually really be in your shoes. But one thing that I can tell you about the redirection is because so often what we see happen is politicians play games. The reality is that if you are talking about a sanctuary city, then we're talking about city government. We're talking about local control, something that the Republicans used to espouse that they believed in. They used to believe in whoever lives in that city, you elect who is going to run that city. And that city, whether it's the police department, which is the police department and law enforcement that make the decisions about what they do. We don't pick the police chief for any given city, not on the federal level. That comes from the city level. That comes from whoever the people of that city actually elect to represent them. I believe in local control. Same thing, I live in Texas too. And baby, I wish I didn't have to deal with Governor Greg Abbott, but local control dictates that he is the governor of our state. And therefore we have state reps, we have state senators, and we have a governor, and we have county elected officials and city elected officials. We are sitting in Washington, D.C. right now.
get into it.
What will you do after your next term? There is no next term. This is the term. So my term ends in January. I'm gonna be doing a few things here and there. Some of what I've done as I've been kind of off the radar is engage in conversation.
Hold on, bro. Look at this, bro. Look at this. This is the type of narcissism I'm talking about, right? She's drinking a mug with her face on it, bro. Wow. Wow. She's full of it. Amazing how she wants to be a lawyer and a celebrity at the same time. She still wants to be a celebrity. Now, to me, that tells me that her chosen career path, what she really wants to do, right, is probably not as attractive as she would like it to be at this moment.
And I definitely want to get to this book. We've had publishers that have reached out for some time, wanting me to do a book for a very long time. We also have some podcast conversations that we'll be engaging in. We'll see about political commentating. I would love to show up in the classroom and actually do a little professor thing here and there.
Yeah, so she don't know, right? When you are talking about how you
Listen, man, I've heard enough. We've heard enough. This is absolutely ridiculous. Jasmine Crockett is done in Congress. Let's just sit back and let that sink in and enjoy that while we can. This woman talking about she wants to teach and she wants to be a lawyer and all types of nonsense. Jasmine, you're going to be right on MSNBC, sitting right next to Summer Sausage, hating on the Republicans, hating on Donald Trump as soon as your term is over. Guys, we got to be a little bit more gentlemanly about this. So let's just get right into it. They say politics is a performance, but there's a profound difference between a public servant and a public charade. Look at the cautionary tale of Jasmine Crockett. Here was a woman who didn't just want to lead, she wanted to conquer. And she thought the way to do it was to wear a mask or a wig that wasn't hers. She walked away from her own truth to adopt a curated ghetto persona, a hollow caricature of an African-American life designed to scheme her way into the halls of power. She treated the American people like a demographic to be managed, rather than a citizenry to be respected. She thought the voters were slow, that they wouldn't see the seams in the costume or hear the rehearsed cadence in the voice. But as the great emancipator Abraham Lincoln himself once said, you can fool all the people some of the time, and some of the people all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. It's just a fact. These is the facts of life. You can't fool all the people all the time. And Jasmine just did not want to accept that. The American people are many things, but they're not stupid. They have a built-in radar for the disingenuous. They saw a woman who refused to be herself, and in that refusal, she lost the very thing she craved, their trust. She lost the image that got her to where she was by trading it for the image of a hood rat. Scripture warns us in the book of Luke, the 12th chapter, that there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. What's done in the dark will damn sure come to the light. The truth has a funny way of rising to the surface at the most inconvenient time, especially when the weight of the lie becomes too heavy to carry. Her downfall wasn't caused by her enemies, guys. People like me, people like Greg Foreman, people who just basically cracked jokes on her because she was making a laughing stock out of herself. It was caused by her own doing. It was the price of trading her soul for what she thought would inevitably be a seat at the table. But out of this wreckage, we can see a different path. She can't, because she's still talking about, I think I might be a lawyer and I want to make movies and I want to direct those movies and I want to star in my own movies, this type of shit. We see the value of being conservative. We see values that are rooted in the bedrock of personal integrity and the courage to stand up for what's right, regardless of what's trendy, regardless of what the ending result may be. There's a triumphant strength in being exactly who you are, unpolished and unapologetic. When you stand on the truth, you don't have to remember your lines. In the end, the mask always slips. The weave glue always weakens. And that bald spot that you used to call your edges will eventually show. But for those of us who believe in the power of character, the light of authenticity will always lead us home. Why did you guys support Jasmine Crockett? Y'all could have supported Jasmine Sullivan. But no, that wasn't good enough for you, was it? Was it? Was it? No, we've gotten to the point, y'all, where we are literally hiring imposters, fakes, actors, clowns. We're trying to put them in leadership. Thank God for the other racial groups standing up for what's right. The Mexicans saved y'all in Texas from Jasmine Crockett. Do you know that clip I played earlier where she was talking about, oh, well, the Greg Abbott is the governor and all this civil. You know what she was trying to do? She was trying to talk to an angel mom whose child had been killed by an illegal criminal alien migrant. She was trying to convince her that she shouldn't want to get rid of illegal criminal alien migrants because at the end of the day, whoever lives in a city, whether they're legal or not, should be able to determine who rules and runs the city. As insensitive sorry, your kid's dead at the hands of an illegal immigrant, which could have been totally preventable if Joe Biden would have enforced the borders. But it doesn't matter. They should be allowed to stay, and they should be able to vote and pick leadership. This woman had no sympathy. This woman had absolutely zero sympathy for the Americans who lost their lives due to the negligence of our last president. Her message to them was basically like, oh, well, get over it. And now she wants us to have sympathy for her as she stands in that unemployment line and looks for another job. I'm sorry, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. Why don't you use the same callous attitude? Or why don't we exhibit the same callous attitude towards Jasmine that she exhibited towards everyone else? People who lost their children to a situation that was easily preventable. That's my thing. These people don't care about anybody, but the minute they stumble, the minute they fall, the minute they encounter a calamity, they want everybody to gather around them for church hugs. And it's like, how do you wake up? How do you live with yourself knowing that you displayed a heartless reaction to a mother whose child died on your watch because of policies that you put in place and laws that you did not enforce? How do you sleep at night knowing that you were directly responsible for those deaths, and then turn around and say, feel sorry for me because I need to find a new job after I was just making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to screw over the American people? She was totally irresponsible. And now she expects people to have sympathy for her. I'm sorry, Jasmine. I don't want anyone to lose their job. I don't want anyone to be in the unemployment line. But you, my sister, it's time that you experience the fruit of your labor. It's time that you got to eat the disgusting weeds that that were sown by you, right? That you planted while you were in Congress in the Texas state legislature. She doesn't like it. Well, I think I'm going to do some lawyer stuff, and I'm going to go into political analysis. Why would anyone want to listen to this person? We already know what she's going to say. Hey, no matter what, vote Democrat. Do we really need a female version of Roland Martin? Because she's low-key built like Roland, if y'all really want to be honest. I remember there was a little moment where Jasmine was going at it with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she said Marjorie Taylor Greene had a bad built butch body. And then I saw Jasmine Crockett standing up straight. Who is you talking to? Jasmine. Who is this girl talking about, bruh? If you compare her body to Marjorie Taylor Greene's body, Marjorie Taylor Greene is cooking Jasmine in a body, in whose body is bodying. She is cooking Jasmine. Like she's cooking Jasmine on a damn Traeger, dude. Do you guys know what that is? She's cooking Jasmine on the damn Traeger. Seriously. I never saw Jasmine's full body, right? But when I saw it, I'm like, girl, of all the shots you could have took at Marjorie Taylor Greene, the body was not the one. This girl is built like a damn cricket. No. She's built like a lobster. With the wig that won't stay on. I don't understand why people just automatically think that they looking better than somebody just because somebody is white and they black. Jazzito, you looking bad out here, girl? I'm talking about bad. You know, God might have blessed her with something, but whatever it wasn't a lot of it. I'm like, girl, you are built like an exterminator. I'm trying to find this one picture where she looked bad standing up in all the pictures, but there's one picture where she looked like a troll for real. But I guess she probably scrubbed it off the internet. But this is what happened when you lose the most important thing that everyone needs to remember. Humility. She became overconfident. Jasmine got real comfortable sitting up in that Texas legislature. And she forgot, or probably just didn't know, that, hey, all this could be taken away from you. That's why I respect a lot of politicians that have been around for a long time, because they've learned how to play the game and at least convince a certain amount of people that they are still exhibiting the values, that got them that seat in the first place. I'm telling y'all, this girl is built like, Jasmine Crockett. You can't even get a full picture of this heifer. Damn, girl. She knows she chopped. She like, neck up. I promise you, if you really get a picture of Jasmine Crockett, this girl built like George Jefferson on God in heaven. She's built like George Jefferson. Look at her. She looks trans, low key, with that wig sitting up in front of her head. She's not. She's really not. All that, bro. Look at this body, bro. Hey, I'm not trying to body shame nobody, but I'm telling you, Weezy was built better than her. Oh, God. Weezy was built better than Jack. Here we go. Oh, that's not even her. Damn. Come on, man. I said, damn. Okay, she got a little curves. Now, this is somebody else. This girl built like Weezy. Look at these ankles. Hey, look. How you stand in a picture with a bunch of old ladies and the old ladies is built better than you? Jesus Christ. You know, have you ever seen somebody and when you look at them, you just feel like they house stink? That's how Jasmine looked. Tell me I'm lying. This is how Jasmine looks. She looks like her house stinks. She looks like her house stinks. And she looked like that wig stink too. But had the audacity to try to talk about somebody. I'm like, Jasmine, chill the fuck out, girl. You looking bad out here. She looks like the girl who went to school. She was the quiet one. She went to school and all that because she wasn't getting the popular guy. So she just focused on them books. Jasmine just hit them books. And that's what she should have done. Because when you built like this, and this is her on the white and the red suit, when you built like that, stay in school, baby. Stay in school. Stay in school, girl. She is, this girl is built like a licorice. You know what those red vines? That's how she built. No curves nowhere, no hips or nothing. I was really ashamed when she tried to come after Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because if you look at Marjorie Taylor Greene, she ugly too, but she got a little bit more body than Jasmine. Like, she got a little bit more something going on. I just was like, you gonna pick that person to go after. I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably take Marjorie down before Jasmine. I ain't gonna lie to you. She built like a damn she built like a Stretch Armstrong doll too, but at least she looks a little feminine. She ain't got them big ass shoulders like Jasmine. Jasmine look like she'll run you down, boy. They all look wild, low key. Look at this. Y'all, Marjorie Taylor Greene is built like Tim the Toolman Taylor. I swear to God, she's built like the Tool Man. I don't know if this gonna look at this girl. Girl. Hold on. Damn. Wait. Oh man, where we at? Did I get oh my God. Hold on. I'm back. Don't trip. This girl is built like Tim the Toolman Taylor. Oh shit. Where the hell is my picture? Oh, okay, there we go. Good. Bruh. She's built like Tim the Toolman Taylor, and Crockett is built like Al Borland, his assistant. They would have been a great team. She's in Congress Oh, see, and this is what I love. Alice, dear honey, Rep Crockett, Rep Crockett is in Congress, not a fashion show. She's in Congress, you're on YouTube. And you're right. She was, because she ain't going to be in there soon, right? She was in Congress, but she treated it like she was at some ghetto hoedown. Neck swinging and dragging her words and acting like a hoochie. So you mad at me because I'm treating her like what she wanted to be? See, you see the hypocrisy there? When she acted like a ghetto hood rat, you was cool with it. But now that I'm roasting her like a ghetto hood rat, now you got a problem. Hypocrisy. Thy name is Alice. Thy name is Alice. Hey, shout out to Prince of the Cats 9131 for the $50 holler. Keep preaching exactly 100%. God, y'all know we locked in. What's understood don't need to be explained. She embarrassed everyone. People be like, oh, she was embarrassing black people. No, Jasmine was embarrassing America. She embarrassed America. Because people, they so quick to talk about how Trump is an embarrassment and everyone's ashamed of him. No. America's looking at these hoochies and hood rats that we putting up in Congress, and they're like, this is who they're choosing to be leadership? People used to respect America. People used to look at America as like an example of what they wanted to be. Name one country on earth that'll put Jasmine Crockett in their Congress or their parliament. None. You wouldn't hire that hood rat to work at Chuck E. Cheese, bro. Oh, wait. But because she was basically chosen, handpicked by a lady who had held the position for decades to replace her, that means Jasmine earned it? No, she didn't. She was a DEI hire. A black woman who held her seat for years, for decades, said, I want to pick the person who's going to replace me, and she chose Jasmine. It wasn't based on merit or none of that. It was just, this is a black woman who was a small town politician who I knew thought exactly like me and would never challenge or question anything that I did. Probably was doing all types of fraud and knew Jasmine wouldn't report her. I ain't no misogynist, none of your business. Okay, I like this. You're brainwashed, man. I can't believe a man of color likes Trump. He hates people of color. What is wrong with you? I can't believe a woman of color likes Jasmine Crockett. I'm a misogynist. My queen. I will give you the link. You can cometh up here and tell me how you know Trump doesn't like black people. Because ain't no way you know that. Hey, you know Trump, right? And now y'all done got me talking about damn Trump. I talk about Brandon's. I said, self, you ain't going to talk about Trump tonight. But you just want to see, y'all always bringing up Trump. I was talking about Jazito. But if you want to talk about Trump, let me show y'all something cool. Because this is going to hit you right in the neck. Hey, shout out to all y'all. I know y'all working and stuff. Some of y'all ready to go to bed, and I got y'all up. Mama, hey. No, I'm just kidding. Trump loves the ladies. He loves the black ladies. Why do you think Trump hates you? Why do you think the president of the United States hates you, bro? That's my thing. What? He doesn't even know you. How can you hate someone you don't know? Let me tell you. Trump loves the ladies. He loves the women's, especially the black women's. Trump.
The people of Chicago are walking around with MAGA hats. You have women, beautiful black women, walking around with MAGA hats. Please let the president in, and we don't care how he does it. They're not interested in National Guard or Army, Navy. Bring them in. Marines, bring in the Marines. They just want the crime to stop.
And then, there's another thing Trump did that was wild. And I want y'all to understand I know none of your business gonna come up here, right? But I want to ask y'all black women a question. If a black woman gets appointed to a very important position in the U.S. government, don't you think that should at least be acknowledged? That's my question to you. Don't you think that should at least be acknowledged? Would you consider media that refuse to report a black woman being placed in a very important position, right? Would you consider that media source to be favorable towards black women? Huh? Would you consider that? Well, there was a black woman who Trump has now appointed.
Staying with us here online.
He's nominated to be the head of the CDC, the Center of Disease Control. That is one of the most important jobs. That is one of the most important jobs in the country. This is the person who controls the messaging surrounding vaccines and different medicines and COVID and communicable diseases, something that we feel has been weaponized against our community for years, right? That's what y'all told me. I know with us, because we black, the goalposts gonna change every 5 minutes based on who the Democrats tell us what we think and what to believe, right? But this is one of the most important jobs in the country. And Trump appointed a black woman. He's nominated this woman, right, to be the head of the CDC. Why is mainstream media not even mentioning it? Why is mainstream media not even mentioning that Donald Trump has appointed a black woman to be the head of the CDC when they know how black people feel about the things that have hurt us, that have come out of the CDC? That's my question to you. But one day y'all gonna understand that the very legacy media outlets that y'all entrust with y'all brain cells, they despise black people. And they despise anyone who appoints black people to any position of prominence.
Staying with us here on Live Now from Fox, I'm Alexandra Goldberg. And now on to our reporting of new faces at the CDC ahead of midterms. President Donald Trump nominating new CDC leadership today, posting this to Truth Social, saying, quote, "I am pleased to announce the new leadership of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It is my honor to nominate the incredibly talented Dr. Erica Schwartz as my director of the CDC. Erica graduated from Brown University for college and medical school and served as a distinguished career as a doctor of medicine in the United States military, the greatest and most powerful force in the world, and then served as my deputy surgeon during my first term. She's a star. I'm also pleased to announce the appointment of Sean Slavinsky as the CDC deputy director and chief operating officer, Dr. Jennifer Shuford as the CDC Deputy Director and Chief Medical Officer, and Dr. Sarah Brenner as Senior Counselor for Public Health to Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, to break this all down for me is Lena.
Did you even know that a black woman was Trump's Deputy Surgeon General during his first term? You didn't even know that. Why? Because the media that you love and take your marching orders from, they didn't feel it was important to tell you. I don't care if you like the party or you don't, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like it's very important that we always highlight black excellence, even if it's not being even if it's not being driven by the political party that you prefer. What do you think? None of your business. He's supposed to be racist. Remember, that's why. Right. Right. Black women always bumping their gums about who is and ain't giving a black woman an opportunity. But when someone does give a black woman an opportunity, they shut them down. They shit on them. Right? Do you want the opportunity or don't you? Why do your people always gotta be, we only get half, we can only take advantage of half the opportunities, right? We can only take advantage of half the opportunities because we only can take it, because we're only expected to take advantage of opportunities that are handed down from Democrats. Why didn't Biden make a black woman the head of the CDC? In a time where COVID was ravaging the black community and we were very scared because we didn't know who to trust. The government really didn't know shit about COVID, but they was steady barking out orders. And you know, black folks, we have a historic distrust of the government. So we were confused. A lot of us probably lost our lives because we just did not trust the information that was coming out. Why not say, you know what, let's put a black man or woman in charge of the CDC. Maybe this will stoke up a little trust among the Negroes. He didn't give a damn about that. He was too busy inviting his son to the White House.
A son from the Washington Post here, national health reporter. Hey, Lena, good evening.
Hi.
So let's start with Dr. Erica Schwartz. What do we know about her and the team nominated alongside her?
Erica Schwartz has a distinguished career serving in the U.S. military. She was the Coast Guard Chief Medical Officer. Then she served as Deputy Surgeon General in Trump's first term. And she has received great praise from both Republicans and Democrats who worked with her because she served in the first Trump administration, was part of the COVID response, and she was great. And many former Trump officials have come out to say what a terrific pick she would be.
And you just saw there on your screen the 4 picks. And Lena, I wanted to ask you, what do these picks say about the administration's health strategy heading into the midterms?
I think you'll see that these people are more experienced, come from more mainstream public health, because the CDC director job, this is the 3rd try for the Trump administration. The first 2 CDC directors didn't make it, didn't stay. Last year was former Florida Congressman Dave Weldon. His nomination was yanked just before he was supposed to go in for a hearing. Susan Monterez was ousted by Secretary Kennedy last summer after they clashed over vaccine policy. So since Trump took office, the CDC director job has been vacant, has only had a permanent CDC director for 29 days. The other folks on the team are also experienced in different ways. Sean Slabensky is a former Walmart executive, so he brings a business experience.
Yeah, so this lady is big time. But a lot of us wonder why a lot of black folks, when they start moving up the ladder, they start kind of moving or distancing themselves away from the black community. Well, it makes sense. Why are you going to stay in a community where you're hated? Not because of who you are or what you've done. You're hated based on who gave you a job. Someone's going to get the job of CDC director, right? Period. Someone's going to get the job. But black people hate for it to be a black person if the appointment is made by someone who they don't like. That's dumb. But if you go to their job, they boss could be a stone cold racist. They still going to collect that $150,000, $200,000 a year. Black folks, we only want other black people to bite the bullet to satisfy our ignorance. But when it comes to us, we'll bug dance all on a personal level. We'll bug dance all damn night for that cash, if it's substantial. I see black people criticizing other black folks for being ICE agents. Bro, why wouldn't they take a great job? that pays great? Why would they hesitate to jump on a great job that pays great, that helps them take care of their family, that can probably put their family in an entirely different tax bracket? Because you mad. And then the question is, why are you mad? You're not mad for a legitimate.
Listen,
you're not mad for a legitimate reason. You're mad because the Democrat Party and the TV told you to be mad. And every time I say that, guess what? Guess what? I become the bad guy. He's the bad guy because he's pointing out the fact, right, that every opinion that I have is an opinion that was given to me by either the Democrats or the mainstream media. That's the truth. It has nothing to do with, personal choice. It's the truth. You're mad at a black woman, or you're refusing to acknowledge her. You're refusing to acknowledge her because she was given a job by somebody you don't like. Right? But if you understand that this is what the real design is. This is the trap that black folks don't see. I'm stupid as F. Hey, you know what they can do? They can insult all night, but they could never tell you why. Here you go, Russell James. Come up and tell me why I'm stupid and I'm ignorant. Because I'm happy that a black woman's in charge of the CDC? Ain't black folks the main ones talking about, the vaccines? Dude, I'm telling you, the boogeyman changes for black people based on who's in office. Black folks 5 years ago was literally talking about the CDC, how they trying to poison black folks, how they trying to poison our kids with the vaccines causing autism. Go down the list, y'all. Go down the list. Y'all remember that? The vaccines is causing autism, and they only giving them to black kids and all this, right? Right? Trump then put RFK in charge. Bro didn't shut down a gang of vaccines. He we not giving our kids all these damn vaccines no more. Based on what our people been saying for the past 15 years, we should be celebrating. But we're mad. We've been trained like dogs so well that we get mad when someone does what we want, what we've been asking to be done for decades. When it gets done, we don't say, yay, this thing got done. We get angry because it wasn't done by who we prefer to get it done by. I'm being real. And a prime example of that is something that I talked about earlier this morning with this boy, Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan has been all over Trump. He's been all over Trump about the situation in Iran, right? He's been going in on Trump for the past 2 months, right?
So what do you?
Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. And let me know if the stream is clear. I'm only doing this stream because it's like a test to see if I'm going to be able to run my morning show with this software. Let me know if there's any glitching, lagging, or anything like that. Put a 2 in the comments or just say, hey, it's buffering, it's glitching, or whatever. Because I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use this or I'm going to use Streamlabs for my morning show because I want consistent output. So Joe Rogan has been criticizing Trump for about 2 months. And I want y'all to pay close attention to how ignorant black folks is. Criticizing Trump hard for 2 months.
You think of what's going on in Iran?
Are there certain kinds of civilian targets, though? I'm thinking schools
I don't want
or
to tell you
hospitals
that.
you
I don't want
would
to
say
tell you
is
that.
off-
We have a plan. I will say
terrifying.
Yeah.
All of it's terrifying. Anytime you're involved with shooting missiles
into towns and blowing things up, blowing up infrastructure, blowing up bridges, and Israel's blowing up Lebanon now.
Yep.
It's like, what the are we doing?
To the KH leadership and IRGC leadership, we're watching you. We are locked and loaded on your critical dual-use infrastructure, on your remaining power generation, and on your energy industry.
Yeah, like, how is this still going on?
It's also clear there was no plan.
No.
Zero. None.
No. How do you stop what's going on in the Middle East? How do you put a stop to this?
Well, it's a very, to me, it's an easy question because I think I can do it easily, but it's a complex question in the sense that the times change, every day changes.
Netanyahu's been telling the United States that Iran was months away from building a nuclear bomb for 30 years, or 20 years at least. They've always been saying that. Trump was the first one to go, all right, let's do something about it.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success.
Okay, so we see Rogan has been very critical of Trump. Okay, but let me introduce a concept that many of my people, my folks, we don't understand. We can't grab it. We can't grasp it. You can be critical of the president and still work with him to get the things you want. Let me say that one more time. You can be critical of the president and still work with the president to get the things you want. Versus what we do, we criticize Trump, we vote for a Democrat, the Democrat promises all this stuff leading up to the vote, we vote, then he stops answering our phone calls like Biden. And Joe Rogan is proof of that. Because even while Joe Rogan was sitting up criticizing Trump hard as hell, right? He was going at Trump over what's going on in Iran and stuff, right? Well, guess what? Guess what? Joe Rogan just went to the White House, he called Trump first and told Trump about some medicines that were criminalized that he felt should be decriminalized because they help with opioid addiction. Trump was like, you want some approval? What you want? He was like, I want this, that, and the third. He was like, bet. Let's do it. You're criticizing me. You talking big shit. But you're coming to me about something that you think is a solution to a problem that we share, right? And I'm all ears and I want to hear it. Much in the way he did when Steve Harvey went to him. Here's the difference. White folks ain't going to shame Joe Rogan for working with the president the way black folks shame Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's family was getting death threats from black people for him going to Donald Trump and saying, I want government funding to go around America and teach young black men and women skills that they can use to help get their families out of poverty. We attacked that man and his family so much they had to delete all their social media.
Joe Rogan joined President Trump at the Oval Office over the weekend as he signed an order allowing psychedelic drug research. Trump, that is. The executive order would accelerate research for certain psychedelic drugs used to treat mental health disorders. Let's listen.
Today's order will ensure that people suffering from debilitating symptoms might finally have a chance to reclaim their lives and lead a happier life.
The order, signed on Saturday, also directs the FDA to expedite its review of new treatments. This is specifically targeted at helping veterans struggling with symptoms of anxiety and depression. Now, Rogan, who has been critical of Trump's recent Iran operation, said at the White House that he heard about these treatments during a taping of his podcast and sent Trump some information.
Rogan added that Trump responded to his text message saying, let's do it. Trump also took a dig at Kamala Harris while mentioning his election interview with Rogan. Let's take a listen.
Joe Rogan is a fantastic person. We did a little interview before the election. We had over 300 million people. And I said, oh, man, I hope Kamala doesn't do it. And she didn't. He wanted her to do it, but she didn't. Someday Joe's going to explain why.
There's so much to unpack here. I said it before the show started, and I know you tried to simple it down, but I don't understand this friendship. And then we're going to talk about Mamdani. Joe Rogan's not a politician, though. He literally criticizes every single thing Trump has done since he supported him, for the most part. I mean, the big policies that he's laying his hat on. But then he's up there like, oh, yeah, let's do the psychedelic treatment, which is fine.
Because Joe Rogan disagrees with various people on various things, but is just a
average
friendly, normal guy who people like hanging out with. And so people sometimes disagree. I mean, he does that.
No, because Joe Rogan is white. And because Joe Rogan is white, he gets the freedom of feeling one way about one thing a person does while feeling a totally different way about something else that they do. But black people don't enjoy that luxury. Not because the white man. We don't enjoy that luxury because of our own people. The plantation slaves hate you if you get a pass to go see your sweetheart at the other plantation. They hate you if you say, hey guys, you see that train going right there? That train take you to the north. All we got to do is hop on that hole. And Massa and all his dogs can't even catch us. How you gonna try to run up off the plantation? You just gonna leave us here? We did, you know what I'm saying? If you leave, we got to do your work. That's us. We can't do nothing. And why do you think our community has been stagnant for the past damn 75, 80 years? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. All you can do is vote Democrat and hope and pray that one day they'll find some type of kindness in their heart to actually deliver you some of the shit that they promised you. And that day is nowhere near. But if I say that, which is the truth, right? That's a problem. The Bible says the truth will set you free. Well, why do you think black people are still in mental slavery? Because we reject the truth. And when you reject the truth, you are a slave. Right? What does the Bible say? All those who sin are a slave to sin. All those who lie are a slave to lies. And all those who engage in abject cognitive dissonance are slaves to cognitive dissonance.
With his guests, he'll be agreeing with them and they'll say, actually, I don't, then he'll go take the conversation a different direction. He's just his own man. He's not a political creature primarily. He's an interesting guy with a huge show, and Trump values that about him.
He's his own man. But in our community, you can't be your own man. You got to get up under the women's. You got to get up under the women's and let them tell you what to think. You got to get up under the women and the men who think that they're going to get in the bed with the women if they agree and capitulate to everything the women say. That's us. That's where we at. That's where we at. We're not oppressed by the white man. We ain't oppressed by none of that. We're oppressed by our own ignorance and our refusal to accept the truth in reality. I can criticize Trump and still go get a grant for my HBCU. Right? No, that's where our people are at collectively. I'm not there because, look, I'm taking the heat right now. People didn't call me stupid, dumb, misogynist, and everything else in that chat for saying the truth. I take the punishment because I'm built for that. I'm okay with it. It don't bother me.
And apparently values that he brought the psychedelic research to his attention, which I think is a great thing. I fully support this. I think research into psychedelics and how they could treat mental health disorders or trauma or PTSD is great. Obviously, in this country, we are concerned about the opioid epidemic, right? Over-reliance on painkillers, addiction to painkillers.
Yeah, and you know why they're concerned about it? Because it greatly impacts white people. See, white folks, Asians, Jewish people, they're going to work with whoever they got to work with to get the things they want to help their community. But as a black person, you told you can only work with a Democrat who you and I know 9 times out of 10 ain't going to deliver what they promised you. But that's your one and only option. That's your one and only option. Or else if you decide to take another option, you become pariah and you're kicked out of your community. That's exactly what happens. Let's be real. I used to sit in YouTube and get 300-400 viewers per live stream. Now we got 46 viewers. Why? Because I refuse to lie. I refuse to stop telling the truth. People tell me, man, you need to just lie to these black people and get your money up. I refuse to do it. YouTubers I know who getting 100,000, 200,000 views, man, just lie to these niggas, man. They don't care about the facts or the truth. I said, hey, I can't get on the internet and lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to call it just how I see it. And I'm going to suggest things to my people that will help them. No, our people reject that. What's funny is we'll all agree on it behind closed doors. But the minute we get out in public, the whole script flip. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There's a scripture in the Bible that say when your women lead you, you're cursed. Right? When your women lead you, you're cursed. Who the black man steady trying to push to the front so he don't got to do the dirty work? Women. And if they don't want to do it, they try to push the children up front. The children are the future. The children is the future. I said, okay, so I got to wait till this 10-year-old turn 30 to see some results? But that's just what we say. That's just what we say because it gives us an excuse to not do anything. That we follow our females. And I'm not saying our females are not great and amazing. They are. They're awesome. They're awesome. But they're also scared of dogs. If you want to know what this is a scene in New York where a woman let vicious dogs take her little tiny baby. And had it not been for two thugs standing on the corner, armed with weapons, they would have killed that baby. I want y'all to watch this in slow motion and watch how this woman relinquishes her fight. She literally just lets that dog take that baby because she was scared that the dog was going to bite her. Look. Sit. Watch how she let go. You fighting for your baby. This how hard you going to fight? You're fighting for your baby. This how hard you going to fight? What? This is who we think gonna lead our people to the promised land. No smoke against them. Women should be fearful. They're weaker than us. But I just want y'all to pay attention to how easily she let that baby legs go. Look. Go ahead, take them. She let the baby's legs go so that guy could shoot at that dog and possibly could have hit her kid with that bullet. Zero effort. And y'all think, oh, well, if you put them in politics, they're going to change. No, they're not. That's the nature of women. Not in a bad way. But it's in a woman's nature to be fearful. I know they give y'all the, oh, we the strong, but no, they're not. They're not, and they shouldn't have to be. They're not, and they should not have to be. Because we should stand up as men and take care of them. But we don't want to. Too much responsibility. And a black man is terrified of responsibility and accountability. And I'm not saying he's terrified because he can't be responsible and don't know how. The black man is risk averse. If you take accountability or responsibility for something, if something goes wrong, you get blamed. And one thing about us, we don't want to be at fault for anything. That's real. We don't want to be at fault. Right? To be fair, the streets don't have firearm discharge protocol. What does that even mean, dude? What are you talking about, brother? The streets don't have firearm protocol, discharge protocol. What does that even mean? Here we go. The least African Americans should do is trying to press on Trump to get all African Americans in jail for weed possession and get Trump to get them out. I get it. And get Trump to fund them to own dispensaries as reparations of some sort. Let me tell you what African Americans should do. African Americans should fight for reparations. But African Americans should not be fighting for reparations for slavery, because none of us living experienced slavery. But what many of us who are living did experience is the 1960s, civil rights. We did experience Jim Crow. We did experience the war on drugs, the planting of drugs in the black community. Why don't we fight to get reparations for all those harms that were done with two people who are still living? Do you know how much wealth left the black community due to desegregation? Do you know how much wealth left the black community once they started the war on drugs, and once they planted the war on drugs, planted the drugs in our community, once they planted the guns in the community, which made the communities war zones? Do you understand how much wealth fled our community? These numbers are actually, you can calculate them, right? They're calculable, right? People who experienced it are still alive to tell to give eyewitness testimony. Hey man, when I was young, there was a black-owned deli, a black-owned dry cleaner, and a black-owned shoe store right across the street from my house. Y'all planted the drugs and the guns in the community. A year later, all those businesses had to leave or close down because they kept getting robbed. That's what you should be asking for reparations for, to repair the harm that was done to you or your parents and your grandparents who are still alive to tell the story, right? And tell how it harmed them, right? The stuff that was done in the age of computers and the internet, to where you can go back and look at the facts and the news headlines and say, no, we have a well-documented case, right? History of exactly how this negatively affected us. That's what you should be fighting for reparations for. But instead you like, slavery, and can't name 3 slaves to save your life. We doing now what we always do in our community. We just fighting for the wrong thing. We got the right idea, but we're going in the wrong direction. That's it. Right? That's it. Guys, what the hell is this shit y'all talking about? No jumper. You need to be on no jumper, making me laugh. No, no jumper is not even in my thoughts. I talk to Adam all the time, bro. Like, it ain't no big deal. But that's what I'm saying. We got the right idea, but we're going in the wrong direction. We could be fighting a winning battle for reparations for the destruction of our communities and our economy 100 years after slavery, right? We won't do it. Why don't we go for reparations for the damage, abortion has done in our community? We could literally be one of we could probably have the largest population of people in America right now if we weren't if there hadn't been like a 60, 70 year campaign to abort our babies, right? Let's go get some reparations for that. Documented. Guys, listen, let me tell you something cool. Margaret Sanger is a documented racist. They took the teachings and ideology of a documented racist and they marketed it to you as a solution to your problems. That you can get reparations for. That's a harm that's done. You knew she was a racist. You knew she wanted to genocide black people. You knew that she hated blacks. But you took her ideology into black communities all over America and embedded that ideology into our community and executed our children based on her words and her racist ideology. That is harm that you can get reparations for. 100%. But nobody's thinking like that. You just saw some slave movies and like, damn, that shit looked like it was rough. So you think you're going to get the most sympathy for that. But y'all don't understand, reparations ain't got shit to do with sympathy. Reparations got everything to do with, hey, is us ignoring this going to cost us more than us acknowledging it and paying the money? Everything is about the bottom line, right? Everything is about the bottom line. And we got to start thinking like that. What you said, Michael O2. You're right, Brandon. That was worth, that was what I was alluding to. Get Trump to repair the unnecessary imprisonment of, yes, African Americans for weed possession, which was mostly setups. Release them and fund them. But Trump is doing that. He did the First Step Act. People still getting released off that First Step Act. And that's what the First Step Act was designed to do. Get people out of federal prison who were basically still in jail for crimes that have been decriminalized. But Trump can't do shit at the state level. So we got to go to the state level and deal with that, right? How you got all these, this is my question. How the government handed out needles and crack pipes, but you still got all these former drug dealers locked up in prison? Y'all done made it trendy and cool to do dope, but the dudes who sold dope still got to be locked up? Not saying you should let their ass out, but it's just a question that I was thinking about. Like, y'all done said, okay, the dope shit. No, y'all probably, I don't know what the hell that was. Nah, they didn't get nothing. They said something about the internet connection. I think I might need a new Ethernet cord, or I might end up needing to get a new router. Maybe this router is not strong enough to do what I'm trying to get it to do, because I know my internet connection is very high, but it's saying, oh, the internet connection in internet. So I'm going to do an internet speed test, and you guys tell me. You need about 10 Mbps to run StreamYard. I just want to show y'all that. I'm not joking. I'm having like the stupidest time with this connection situation. So I'm running a speed test right now. You need about 10 Mbps to run StreamYard. Let's see what I got going. We're doing 1819 per second. Your internet connection is very fast. Your internet connection should be able to handle multiple devices streaming HD videos, video conferencing, and gaming at the same time. I don't get what the problem is. This is the upload. Yeah. Very fast. Download is 532. So I have a very fast internet connection. And yet and still we be having some. Yeah, I talked about that yesterday, Game Recognized Game. I talked about that yesterday. Go to yesterday's stream. I did a whole stream on it. Go knock yourself out. Just go back to yesterday's stream. I talked about it for like an hour and a half. Yeah. So look at that. Look at that. So the stream is the internet speed is very fast, and yet I have buffering. So when that's the case, the only thing it could be is like the StreamYard situation, or the browser maybe, possibly, or it could be this, yeah, or maybe the browser. That's about it. That's the only thing I could really think of. But yeah, you guys know all about internet stuff, so let me know what y'all think. But I know on here, there's definitely like a thing that tells you how your connection is. But I don't ever see it. I don't ever see it. Teleprompter, need help. No. No. But there definitely used to be a thing where we could check our speed while we were live, but it's not really I don't see it anymore. It used to be here at the bottom, but I don't see it. So it is what it is. I don't really recording. Nope. Details. Yeah, I don't really know. But I know that our connection speed is super duper fast. But I think there's a thing where hold on. Okay. The only thing that possibly could be going on, not connect studio camera effect. What the hell is this? Off. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, there's really nothing. Nothing that I could see. To me, it just most likely has to be the browser. Because even with my performance, let's see. Yeah, best performance, battery percentage. Yeah, everything seems good. Everything seems gravy. Control, delete. I'm going to Task Manager. Yeah, I'm only using 27% of the CPU, 30% of the memory. I don't know. Yeah. We should be good. Beyond that. But yeah, I don't see anything back here that should be causing any problems. Ethernet. Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything. So it has to be the StreamYard situation. That's the only thing I could think of. But yeah. So I don't understand it, but I'll get to the bottom of it. Yeah, they're saying all I need is 10 Mbps. I got 22. They're saying plug in. I'm plugged in. So I think I could go here. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this. We are out of here. It is late, and I still got some work to do. So, I've been good since you came back. So carry on, Big B. Okay, cool. I had an old router which was choking my internet to the booster, and since we dumped it, my internet is supersonically fast. Brandon got that. I ain't got no damn on select Wi-Fi. Stop playing, man. Stop playing, man. I'm going to actually take a picture of my router right now and put it in AI and tell AI, is this causing me trouble? And they're going to be like, yeah or no. And then I got to get another one. But yeah, okay. I had an old router, which was choking my internet to the booster. And since we dumped it, my internet is supersonically fast, 100%. All right, that's what I'm going to do. That we got a mission for tomorrow because that's the only thing this could be, y'all. Because as y'all saw, my internet speeds are kicking ass. As the white man will say. Thank y'all so much for watching this. I appreciate everything y'all do for me in this channel. Till the next time. Peace. I mean, I was literally having buffering, y'all. Buffering. How? With those Mbps speeds.